Do you find yourself performing calm or relaxation? Maybe you're sitting on the floor with your kids, but you're tense with stress, your jaw is tight, and you're actually replaying a meeting from 3 hours ago. Or do you feel a sudden wave of panic or vertigo out of nowhere, even when everything is technically fine? Are you the person who has a million answers for everyone else, but you can't seem to turn off that background noise in your own head? If you're nodding, your mind is working overtime, but it's actually listening to the wrong station. Let me explain. Sometimes when we feel we can't solve a problem, we are failing. We feel like we're failing. But what we're actually experiencing is communication error between your mind and the body, and the mind can't translate sensations coming from the body. Your mind is simply trying to translate a language it doesn't speak and it doesn't understand, because the mind doesn't speak the language of sensations, which is the language of the nervous system. We treat our mind and body like separate departments. We do mind work and body work, but that's not how the system is wired. Think of your brain, your spine, your nerves, and as one single continuous circuit. It's an operating system that runs mostly on sensations, not words. That's a subtle background communication happening 24/7. And right now, your system is screaming threat while you're trying to read a bedtime story or sit at a meeting. Does this feel familiar? You have a shallow breath that stays in your chest even when you're resting. You have sudden ping of anxiety and you try to logic your way out or explain, but instead you are feeling more anxious. Or you have the feeling of being overstimulated by normal noise of your own home. Or you're stuck in the loop of over-explaining your day to yourself, trying to find the core of why you're feeling so drained. So willpower or discipline have nothing to do with interrupting the mind-body loop. It's an internal system that has been wired for years, that adapted and survived in this way. And your system is highly successful in survival. What you're stuck in is, I call it problem creation mode. Because your mind is so capable, because you're such a great problem solver, when your body feels that sensation, tight muscle, shallow breath, even subtler sensations, your mind panics. It doesn't understand the signal, so it creates a problem. To explain it, like little problems which can be more manageable, but it piles up all the problems. It pulls in all stresses, rehearsed responses, the never good enough loop, just to give that physical sensation, the subtle sensation, a name. And this is what is happening. You're experiencing the first degree signal, which is subtle signal, and your mind is trying to explain it with a third degree communication. That's a mismatch, the mismatch that we bridge and we deal with hours in our sessions. Think of your mind like a gutter. When it is full of leaves, the gutter gets stuck full of dead leaves. And those are like your habitual thoughts, your logical excuses, and your rehearsed responses. In conversational hypnosis, we don't just add more water to the gutter hoping to flush it away. We use something I call fractionation. I made a YouTube video about it, which is called Problem Creation Mode and how fractionation breaks it. Fractionation is a natural process where we nudge your mind to dive deeper past the noise of the leaves or your habitual responses, habitual level of thought, into the layer where the true information lives. We bypass the third degree of experience, the thinking mind, the thoughts you hear, and go straight to the source signal, the sensations. Imagine what happens when you clear those leaves out. Suddenly the communication flows. We have a direct experience of that communication without fear. You stop reacting to the background noise and start responding to the present moment. You don't have to try to be present with your kids. You don't have to try, you just are, because that's who you are in your source, in your resourcefulness, because your system finally feels safe. We're not changing who you are, we're just talking to the part of you that's been running the threat script, so it can finally close that app that's draining you. And I want to know if this resonates with your lived experience. When you're relaxing, what's the one physical sensation you notice the most or the most frequently? Is it maybe tightness in your jaw, shoulders that go up, maybe heavy weight or density in your chest, or something else? And be honest, does your mind immediately start trying to explain that feeling or that sensation with a list of things you haven't done yet? Drop it in the comments. Let's map out those triggers together, and if you're ready to clear the gutter, my DMs are open.